What's up, everybody? Well, on a podcast now, I'm Alex, and we are back. What an incredible week we just had. Obviously, Life is Strange being the key point. I want to do a live stream on it, talk about some theories and just discuss it actually being real. Of course, we could get derailed, as I oftentimes do. Like Prince of Persia and Ubisoft are just having a crazy, crazy week. It's been a pretty busy week in gaming. Fable, the Xbox had the developer direct. It's been, I said, I think last week, right? Last weekend, I talked about this upcoming week and I said, okay, this is it. Like we're about to be in the first legitimate, week of the gaming year. And I meant it mainly for Life is Strange, which we got. I think it actually, to be honest, it's better than I expected. I'm in a better spot thinking about it than I thought I would be. Really, I'm higher on it. I have more hope for it. It of course can go wrong, but I'm insanely excited. Fable looked fantastic, really, really good. And then, I did not expect to wake up one day and just or check Twitter and find out that Prince of Persia was gone. So that was not included in my estimate for why this week was going to be so big. But here we are. We made it another week, and off we go now to next week. Not really much going. I think Code Vein 2 comes out next week. So we got a little stuff there. King Matthew, what's going on? I'm doing good. How about you? I never played like a Life is Strange. Still need Sly, Spyro, Mass Effect, and Wolf Among Us 2. That's right. Well, I think I've convinced an okay amount of people. I feel people told me a couple of years ago that I've convinced people to watch Scream. That I've like made Scream fans out of people that were not. But recently, I think I have a pretty good track record going with Life is Strange. I've seen a lot of people talking about trying to get into it, trying to get into Life is Strange, asking me if they should play it, playing the games themselves. So I'm really, and I really don't do it for that reason, to be honest with you. I'm just very passionate. I make far too many videos, and I think just when you make 120 videos on Life is Strange or 500 videos on Scream or Hogwarts back in the day, or you kind of just beat these topics into people subconsciously. I think you start to get people that say, all right, I'll just check the thing out, see if he's stupid or not, see if he's insane or not. And I think more often than not, people are really happy, with the results, with what they actually end up playing. Good morning from the UK. Good morning. By the way, can I just say, like, this is a phenomenal. I was picking a background. I love the cover art for Reunion, but I think just what it looks like, or this picture in particular. There's them right there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. What's going on? Punished. Can I just go punished? Kittler. I'll just say punished. I'll call you a punished. I mean, it's a nice avatar, but still. I've only played the first Life is Strange game, and I've definitely hyped for the new Fable game. I'm considering going back and playing the first three since I don't think I've played them. Yeah, I my experience with Fable was always through friends, one friend actually in particular. So I've played all three of them, but we would kind of like hand the controller back and forth off to each other. So yeah, my plan is before Fable comes out, which might be in the fall, might be next year. To be honest, it's a game that could get pushed. I am probably going to go back for Back to the Past, and I'm going to play Fable 1, 2, and 3 and do retrospectives. I wanted to do that for a long time. I have, I think, at least Fable 3 physically. So yeah, I'm pumped. I mean, the game looks so good. Got to play those. That kind of rises up, in my kind of backlog of what I have to do. Life is Strange. I mean, I was going to play Double Exposure again, and then I thought of the idea to play Before the Storm to kind of get some Chloe, inclusion going on. And I was gonna, I already played. I've played it like 5, 6 times, but to play it again, I guess before Reunion. And I thought I'd have some time. I thought I could go on like a Life is Strange summer vacation, be able to just play these games over the summer, coast. Not anymore. No, no, no. The game comes out in 2 months. I gotta have a quick turnaround. I gotta play those games immediately. Immediately. So yeah, I'm very excited. For sure, what I gather, it's some young adult time loop jazz or something like that. I've seen a lot of retrospectives pop up on my feed. Yeah, my longest retrospective on Back to the Past, my third channel, if you're not subscribed there, podcast now Back to the Past. My longest retrospective there is the first Life is Strange game. Almost an hour long. I could probably talk about Life is Strange 1 for like 5 hours if you got me going, even if I got myself going. I mean, I really think I'm capable, honestly, of doing talking quite a bit about it. But yeah, young adult time loop. Yeah, that's a I like that way of saying it. It's not taking it too seriously, but it's pretty on the nose. Yeah, no, Life is Strange 1 is just to me is such a special game. And I know people like different games for different reasons. And I think Life is Strange can be very powerful. I think True Colors was very good. I think Double Exposure was good at times. I really liked Before the Storm. I really did not like 2, but that's kind of the only one I would say I really, really, really didn't like. Life is Strange 1 is just always going to be one of my absolute favorites, one of the absolute greatest games I've ever played. And it's hard, like when I watch the trailer for Reunion, the times I think I get like goosebumps and get so excited is thinking back. I think that countdown to a countdown that they did, you got to love it, right? But the countdown to the countdown, and when they would show clips of the original game, or even just hitting us constantly with saying, like this is it, like the end of their saga, the end of Max and Chloe. Like, say what you want about how they did Max and Chloe in Double Exposure, and then we don't really know how they're going to do them now, right? Reunion could be good, bad, in between. But like hearing that this is the end of these characters it almost gives you chills. It gives me chills, and it really I think is primarily because of how amazing that first game was. It has that kind of power over me at least. It'd be like, and I got kind of emotional. There were no tears. But it'd almost be the same thing as like if you told me like the next Kingdom Hearts game was it, and we'd be saying goodbye to Sora, and all the promotion was like, this is it, Sora's conclusion. I would get pretty emotional. Like there's just something about that I feel gets me. Oh yeah, 100%. I think pretty much Gears is pretty up in the air, but you have Halo. I should say Gears E-Day, right? Because of course Reloaded came out on PlayStation, Fable's coming day one, Forza would have come day one, but it just wasn't ready. Clockwork Revolution, totally. State of Decay 3, totally. The only one I think I'd wonder about is the Gears E-Day game. And even that I feel like I don't know. My gut would say it's not going to be on PlayStation day one. That's kind of what I want to say when it comes to Gears. But Clockwork, 100%. That's not an Xbox exclusive. It's going on PlayStation. I'm still convinced Square Enix will release a Life is Strange physical bundle in the future. They call it Life is Strange full collection. The full see what's interesting is like because there's like a Max trilogy, right? Now they have like this twin pack thing, which they did with Final Fantasy, right? They did 7 remake, rebirth, and I'm sure they'll do all 3 remake, rebirth, and whatever the third one's called. Life is Strange is doing Double Exposure and Reunion. You can get in that twin pack, and then there's the idea of like, yeah, do you put them all together? Well, there's Life is Strange in general. Well, here's the thing. They did do that Life is Strange collection, last year? And I don't know if does it have Double Exposure on it, but it has pretty much all the Life is Strange games on it. You can still get, I think, from Amazon physically. And that's one that I have on my Amazon wish list. I haven't pulled I think it's $60. I wasn't, I bought a lot of games, so I wasn't like in the financial thing to do it. But I think that's maybe one of the only ways to get which game is it? I mean, like, there's never really been a bundle like that one that just came out last year. But yeah, I think it's very possible the thing that upsets me, even with Final Fantasy, is I just don't like multiple collections almost in back-to-back years, and then it feels, you know what I mean? Because it's like if I don't buy that Life is Strange collection that came out 4 months ago, if I don't buy that, are they going to come out with one that, just includes Reunion as part of it? Because if they do that, then, it was kind of silly, I guess, to buy the first one, right? Because now you're going to do the exact same collection again, and you're just going to add a Reunion to it. So it's like, unless you buy it 2 different times, there's a little bit of value, I think, to having 6 collections in your collection. I mean, I have a couple Kingdom Hearts ones in my physical collection, but it's tough because it generally kind of comes across like it's ripping you off, I may pick up Before the Storm. Oh, yeah. But since Chloe's in Life is Strange Reunion, I may play all the games that include her. That was my logic. That was my mindset, right? Is that I just played Life is Strange 1 this time last year. And actually, I would say even earlier. I think I played Life is Strange 1 around Christmas of 2024. So I did Life is Strange 1, and then I did it right after Double Exposure. And then, yeah, I thought, okay, well, when the next game comes out, I would do Double Exposure again just to, make sure everything is right there in the memory banks. But it's been a while. I have not played Before the Storm. I think I played Before the Storm, Jesus, maybe 7, 8 years ago. I played it quite a few times when it came out. I think I played it almost like back to back to back. But it's been, I think, like 7 or 8 years since I've played Before the Storm. So I just want to redo that. I really liked it. I really, really liked Before the Storm. I've always liked that game. The Price Field Collection, Partners in Time Collection. Yeah. The thing is, like Double Exposure, they're not together. In fact, they force you to stay away from Chloe in Double Exposure. So it'd just be reunion and one, and that would kind of be awkward. Fable looks incredible, though, and so does Clockwork Revolution. A friend of mine calls me a game blank because I play so many different genres, and said I was unloyal because I didn't have a favorite. Oh yeah, hey, it's the struggle us diversity people fall under. No, Fable looks so. I'm really impressed with Fable, honestly. Like I've talked it up an okay amount. I feel I was a pretty positive, YouTuber talking about the game, as we were getting closer. And I feel really good about always kind of maintaining that it could be something special. We'd have to wait and see. I feel like I was, right to kind of hold that. But yeah, no, I think people like us though probably do have a favorite. Like I mean, like action adventure is probably my favorite genre. Uncharted, Sly is it's a platformer somewhat, but it's probably more actiony adventure. I think that's kind of my genre. It's like the action adventure genre. Um, but yeah, we have a little loyalty. Maybe it's not really even loyalty. It's that we just jump around so much. Oh, RPG. There you go. RPGs. There you go. I really want to go back and play Fallout 3 in New Vegas. I feel like I don't know. I've covered the remakes and remasters so much. I can feel there's a lot of energy online on those. So, ooh, Plague Tale Innocence, very good, great game. Requiem, I think, is much better, but I like that. I don't think this will be the last Life is Strange game we ever get. I really don't believe that. I think that they'll come back eventually. I think this is the last Life is Strange game we'll get for like 5+ years. It's going to be a while. It is. I will be in my mid-30s by the next time, at least by the next time we get a Life is Strange game. I really don't think we'd be getting another one until 2032, 2033. Like I really think it's that far away, and that's sad. That's an also sad thing. Like hearing it's the end of Max and Chloe. But that signals kind of an end for Life is Strange as well as we know it, how Deck Nine's been treated and Square Enix and all that stuff. So I do think, here's the thing. The TV show will keep it alive. Like there will be Life is Strange fandom, bonding opportunities, that will happen because the game will come out and the show would probably air next year, and if the show is a huge success, it actually kind of makes you wonder, like, what would they do? Because you cannot bring Max back again, even though I would kind of always be open to it. You can never really do that, or at least not in the current, like in the next little while. So, yeah, the show will keep it around, and I'll certainly cover it every single week or every single episode. I'll do videos on the main channel. But, yeah, I think we're not going to get a Life is Strange game 5, 6, 7 years. The show will keep us, I don't even know if I want to say entertained. I don't have high hopes about the show. I think the show could be good, but it could be total garbage. Total garbage. So we'll see. Ooh, those are good. I don't think I've ever platinumed Heavy Rain. I definitely have platinum God of War 3. I platinum God of War 3, the original, remastered, probably just those two. Heavy Rain, I don't think I've ever Quantic Dream. Have I ever platinumed Beyond Two Souls? No, I don't think I've ever platinumed one of their games. Oh, nice. Split Fiction, so good. My wife's been playing it with a friend of hers, so it's sometimes like you can hear it or see what level they're on. Super good. So just an incredible game. Really, one of the better co-op experiences. I was thinking of it. But I'm kind of taking a little bit of a cop-out situation there, Anthony, just because I really don't. I really don't like to. I know I keep saying it. I really don't like to. And I don't wanna I will one day replay it. I've played Life is Strange 2 one time. It's when it first came out. That's it. I've never played it since. And I don't really want to, but I think I will at some point in my life. So the way I'm kind of thinking about it is I just played Life is Strange 1 like a year ago, less than a year and a half ago. I played Life is Strange 1. I haven't played Before the Storm in more than half a decade, and then Double Exposure. So I'm kind of playing the Max and Chloe arcs is what I'm doing. Actually this is the year. This is 5 years since True Colors, and I was planning on replaying True Colors as well and doing a retrospective on Back to the Past. So I do think, within this year, I'll be covering Reunion, and then on Back to the Past specifically, I'll be doing Before the Storm, a Double Exposure retrospective, and then probably True Colors. I'll probably play True Colors over the summer going into the fall, which is what I wanted to do because I thought Life is Strange Reunion was going to come out, in the fall. But I'll probably do, I'll do Reunion and then, or Before the Storm, Double Exposure, Reunion, and then over the summer I'll do True Colors. That's kind of my plan right now. Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, I think I will. I think I will replay Life is Strange 2 at some point. At this point, I've made it such a big part of my personality to hate on it so much. If I replay it and I like it, what am I supposed to do? And I'm just kind of kidding on that. I'm actually very much willing, and it's why if you guys aren't subscribed to my Back to the Past channel, what I love about playing old games is I really do think I change on them. Not every time. There's a lot of games that I just love, and then I replay it and I say, oh yeah, I love it just as much. But like going back to a game you haven't played in like 10, 15 years, 20 years, which I do pretty much weekly, over there. Really cool, just because you get to kind of see so many different things that you didn't see originally, or you might love it even more. You might love it for different reasons. Maybe you notice things like negative things you didn't notice originally. So I like that. And I do, I don't want to be stuck in the mud. I want to kind of have the fluid opinions that aren't dictated by like I think there's a lot of people that will change with the tide. I want to be me. I want to have you guys or I want to be honest with you and for you guys to know, where I'm coming from. That's just my opinion. But I do think like, yeah, you play a game 10 years after it comes out, you're probably going to think a little bit differently of it. So I think that could happen with Life is Strange 2. I don't know. I was never into the brothers. The plot was so political, and then it kind of went that church cult. Remember that in like episode 4? Went totally just all over the place. And I never liked the origin of Life is Strange 2, that what was it, like the car accident in the beginning, that they just ran away. They ran away instead of explaining it in a world where supernatural powers, like, I don't know, he uses the force. You could explain that, maybe you'd go into like some sort of government agency program, but doesn't that happen at the end no matter what, or depending on a certain choice? So I don't know. I always had kind of problems with it. Wasn't a fan. The brother bond did not get me as much as Max and Chloe did. The central story was trying to be way too political, I thought, at times. And this is just based on my memories. This is just based off my memories playing a game that was 10 years ago. We'll see. One day I'll go back. There's my tangent. Life is Strange. I could talk about Life is Strange 2 for a while, too. I just don't really want to. I did not try the demo for Dragon Quest. My plan is honestly just to get it, just to go in blind. I have Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3 HD 2D remake, and then I'm going to get 7. I want to get into the Dragon Quest games. I'm not taking no for an answer. I don't want to be discouraged by the demo. I want to have them as part of my physical collection, because I don't have any until up until now. And so I'm going to get 7 no matter what. It's just, the demo might be nice because then I could see what it's like, but I want to go in completely blind. The smartest thing to do would be to take a hiatus from Life is Strange until after the first season of the show comes out, then go back to the... Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's a good point. And I do think that's the right move, See if season 1 of the show can really nail it. And, then you... But the thing is, we'll see. Like, they are definitely, I think, coming across like this is definitive. And I don't think Deck 9 is getting the keys back. I think Deck 9 is done with Square Enix is done with them. Or both. It could be both. But yeah, I think, you do season 1 of the show comes out, say, next year, late next year, and then you're going into 2028. And as Square Enix, you are looking for somebody to make a game. And then you give them like 3 years, so 2031, so that's 5 years from now. I think that's the earliest that it could happen, you know. The that's the best case. The worst case scenario is it extends a bit. Best case is, you know, show kind of kicks off Square Enix's, you know, imagination. They find somebody quick. You get 3 years to do it. You do it, and you're off again. But, you know, 5 years isn't too long. I mean, most games we have to go 5 years with, you know, waiting for 5 years. I'll be old. I'll be old though. Again, into my 30s. What's going on? Currently trying to platinum RE4 remake and GTA 5. Oh my god, nice, 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 nice. I haven't played GTA 5 in a very long time. I'm going to before 6, and then RE4 remake. I should, you know, I want to play. I'm going to play 7 and 8 right before Requiem comes out. Hopefully in the next couple weeks. Actually, I'll be going into RE. Yeah, it seems like they're locked in with I forget her name. I forget her name. Does she give me max vibes? If you changed her hair color, I think she would give me max vibes, the girl that they seemingly have landed on. But yeah, I'm pretty disappointed because I think Emma Myers would have been a really, you know, star power. You know, she knows the game. She knows who Max is. Like that alone is like, I don't know, that just kind of wins me over. Like just the fact that a celebrity like knows that it's like, all right. I mean, and she knows it. She kind of gives off the personality vibes of Max, and then she also very much looks like Max, and she's in the right age. I think she's only maybe 2 years older than the girl that they might be going with. So it's like, yeah, I don't, you know, I'm not gonna say it's a bad idea because we don't really know the potential of the girl that they want to do it with, but or if it even happens. But yeah, I think Emma Myers, that would have been my push. God of War's my favorite franchise and really didn't want the TV show. Kratos' actor choice is a great step. Great step. But yeah, I'm not really, the cast is looking good, but I'm still a little bit skeptical. But yeah, God of War's are great. It's got to be up there with one of my favorite franchises for sure. Haven't played the newest Life is Strange yet. Double Exposure. Well, you got some time. You got some time, man. You're gonna have to do it before Crimson Desert, though, because Crimson Desert is the 19th, and then the Crimson Desert is 1 week before Reunion, or is it 2 weeks? 19th, 26th. Yeah, so 1 week. 1 week. I'll have 1 week to explore Crimson Desert, then go finish off Max's story, and then come back. That's gonna be my plan. I don't know how to feel about the light. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to feel anything yet. You know, you could feel hollow and empty and then wait for the show to come out and decide about it then. Love, Life is Strange. Yeah. And that happens. That's happened historically over the years. I'll have, you know, I've made a lot of Life is Strange videos and I'm kind of partially known for coverage on Life is Strange. And yeah, every now and then somebody will ask my opinion on 2. I'll go off on my rant, and then you'll have people say, "Oh man, I didn't," you know. I love to. I think what's interesting is though you will have people that have such different. Like I really like Before the Storm. I've seen countless people that hate it, countless, and I don't know if it's because of Deck Nine or sometimes people I think just make up reasons why they hate things. Especially Life is Strange. Some of it's valid, but I think a lot of people just make up Life is Strange hate. But yeah, I've always loved Before the Storm. Always, always, always loved it. I would say it's my second favorite. Like Life is Strange 1, then Before the Storm. That would be my top 2. And then probably True Colors. But I've seen a lot of people not like Before the Storm. True Colors, I feel like generally people are pretty okay with, right? Like I like it, people like it. I don't know how different, I think generally like people did like parts of Double Exposure. I don't think like the whole thing was bad to everybody. 2, I think, is the most divisive. Like, I have seen other people say they don't like it. I've seen a lot of people. Here's what I'll also say. Here's the thing, too, while covering so many different kinds of games. When I look at, because I'll sometimes get, tweets or videos or stuff from people like outside the Life is Strange fandom. And what I seem to understand, or what I think I understand, about the people that, because, Life is Strange is not the biggest community of all time. It's a tight-knit group that adores it, but it's not everybody. And I think outside of it, there is still universal love for 1. I see people, just general gamers, I see really, really appreciate 1. I've seen a lot of gamers just trash all of the rest of it. Before the Storm, True Colors, Double Exposure, 2. I've seen 2, I've seen the most divisive, like people love it, people hate it. But outside of the Life is Strange fandom, it really feels like It's so much love for one, just universal. People that are like not Life is Strange fans played one and liked one, and they just never cared about the rest of the franchise. That's what you get. That's not like what they deserve. It's just like what happens, I feel like, from a vast majority of people. Who is everyone's choice to play Chloe in the TV series? At the moment, I'm leaning towards Lizzie Broadway from Gen V. I've seen some, I don't know actresses' names as well. Like Emma Myers, I know is a Wednesday. But I've seen some people post just pictures of actresses, and I've seen some that look more like. Well, it wasn't Maya Hawke but she's too old. She's like 27, 28. If you got her like 6 years ago, though, she really, with the blue hair, she easily could have been Chloe. So yeah, but I'm not good with actors' names. Okay, now I'm really falling behind. This is what we do in live streams, by the way. If you're new to the channel, I like to just, give everybody their time, answer anything you guys ask me, but I tend to fall behind. Zach Dixon, thank you so much, buddy. Sup, man? I'm sold on the characterizations, how it looks, etc. It'll just come down to the story. We will say, well, again, appreciate it a ton. And yeah, I'm with you. It's gonna be how they're written. It's gonna be how well Max and Chloe are written. And for the time being, I want to remain very optimistic. I'm confused. I made that video of like, I'm not really sure where Chloe's memories are and like how certain logistical things, work out. And that is a story thing. It's like a lore thing that I do think is important that they explain. But, I think I'm feeling more optimistic in the story and characters than I was a week ago. I was excited. Don't get me wrong. I was excited for that reveal. But, I really thought it'd be more mixed. There's definitely some things that I'm not like certain angles I've talked about with Chloe's hair, I think look terrible. Absolutely terrible. You got to fix some of those. But I am way more optimistic about this than I was a week ago, truthfully. And I don't know. I think there are definitely people that are still very, very negative, and that's okay. That's okay. Some people are just done, after double exposure, and I totally get that. And it depends on how deep you want to get in. I mean, I don't live on Twitter. In fact, I'm actually on Twitter less than I have been, historically in the past. I've seen people that are just totally done / they'll take shots at people that are even willing to support it. There'll be people saying like, why, questioning why people like us would even entertain this game existing in the first place, and I've done that with Ghost of Yotei. I've done that with all sorts of games. I hate it when people kind of take that jump. I hate that stuff. You can have whatever opinion you want on games. Like, I would just set Life is Strange 2 for me, but I don't think that says anything, about your character, and I just think, I don't know, maybe it's getting older or whatever, but so many people have that stance. And it honestly exists in the Life is Strange fandom too. I think people are so kind of done with the Deck 9, or whether maybe it's taking it out on Deck 9, maybe it's taking it out on Square Enix, but you're labeled. You're labeled for supporting something, talking about it, even showing general interest in it, and heaven forbid you actually buy it, right? You're just kind of labeled and mocked, where it's like you're part of the problem. You allow them to make the games because you buy. And it's like, I don't know. Life is complex, but life's not that complex. People have their own money, their own time. If they want to play Reunion or they want to get excited for it, who are you to stand, in their way? And I've been like that, I'd say, for a while. And I hold that with the other Life is Strange games too. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it says anything about me that I don't like Life is Strange 2. I just don't like it. And I can give reasons, but I just don't like it. And I don't know. You want to label a person based off that, I think is really silly. But people do it. People do it with pretty much any game. Ghost of Yotei, a lot of the woke versus anti-woke stuff you'll see people do. But yeah. You're not the only one who dislikes Life is Strange 2. I remember my sister really didn't like it. Well, there you go. Your sister and I are much alike in that way. And yeah, I mean, and that could be nitpicky, but I don't know. And there's another kind of element too, where it's like people aren't really allowed to go after Don't Nod because they created Life is Strange, and so it's almost like looked upon badly if you do bash Life is Strange 2 because it's not cool to bash Don't Nod. But I mean, like, everybody's open to, taking some hits, you can't improve if you only say positive things about it. To pretend like Lost Records was the greatest game ever, I think is silly. To pretend like it was the most well-written game or a game of the year, I think is silly. I really do. there's improvements that can be made, and you have to be honest about it. And same thing I'd say with Life is Strange 2 from the very beginning. Very beginning, I just think there was kind of logical holes in Life is Strange 2. I am very excited for Halo. I am very excited. I'm just kind of worried about I do understand where people come from with Halo when it comes to the kind of like tone, like they're gonna lose kind of what made Halo 1 special. I do get that. I don't know if that'll happen, but I do get that. I do get that. Oh, that's a great list. That's a great list. And and you kept going. I was gonna say you could keep going. You could. This year has like a good. I mean, I think I made a video of my top 50. This year has a good 30 plus games. That are exciting. Resident Evil Requiem, Wolverine. Yep, it's loaded. It's loaded. What do you think will happen to Deck 9? So I mean, I just kind of believe the rumors that the original rumor, like a year plus ago, was that Deck 9 was basically just going to lay everybody off, and it would be kind of their co-founders and kind of the executives, the heads, maybe 4 to 6 people. And it would just be them. It would just be the heads of the studio. They would lay everybody off, and they'd have to like draft a plan, figure something out to keep the studio alive going forward. And that was the original. That was a rumor, but it was kind of backed up. I think that we've seen it. We've seen over the last year all of these people that were working on Reunion, when their contracts are up, they're leaving or they're being or laid off or whatever you want to call it. They're not there anymore. And it seems like anybody that was working on Life is Strange Reunion that was on like a timer, a countdown, or a contract, they were not given the opportunity to have like another contract. So they're clearly shedding, And the biggest thing I think is going to be when Reunion comes out in 2 months. Does Deck 9 release a statement the day after, a week after, and say, okay, we've laid off 90% of who's left? We have like 10% of we have like a group of 20 people left, and we're just going to kind of figure it out. I wish them the best. I don't know. Again, like it wasn't so popular, I think, to hate on them like 10, 15 years ago. And I like them. I've always liked them. So I don't want them to go away. They actually are around me. I live in Colorado. They're not super close. I want to say they're maybe 50 minutes away from where I live. It's like, so they're close by. I drove past the town that True Colors was based on, that kind of like deep in the forest type, and they said specifically the town that was their reference for it. I drove on a highway past it. You could actually see it like through my, window. So it's just cool in that way. I mean, that doesn't really matter, but I don't want Deck 9 to go away. I really don't. I hope they're able to figure it out. They're going to just have to find a new partner, with Square Enix. It's just not going to happen. They're going to have to work with somebody else. I'm doing good, Nick. How about you? My voice is holding up. We're doing good. I want to thank you all for being here. That was a good time. Selfish plug. If you guys want to join our Discord server, I know maybe we have a couple new faces. We have a Discord server. We're running a giveaway over there. If you guys want to join that, you have to participate. You have to talk. You have to talk in the Discord. But you can join our Discord. The pinned comment. It's on the pinned comment. Reanimal in a couple more weeks. That's right. That's my first like really big like kickoff game to me. Because I might get like Romeo's a Dead Man, like a couple others that come out right before it. But Reanimal's the first, I'd say, really, really big one. I'll be covering that and playing that day one. Really, really psyched for that. Mario Galaxy. I really want a Mario Galaxy 3, and I do think we'll get a new 3D Mario game, but I don't know if it'll be a Mario Galaxy 3. I feel like Odyssey 2 would be more likely, even though the movie's called Galaxy. Maybe it is possible. Maybe it's possible. I don't think it's 100% confirmed that Maisie Stella is playing Max, but we'll have to wait and see. Keep in mind, Emma Myers might be too busy. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Wednesday films like for like 7 months for like 6 episodes or whatever that. Which I like Wednesday a lot. I like that show a lot. I think Emma Myers, Jenna Ortega, insanely talented. But I just don't understand these filming schedules where they film these shows that are only like 8 to 10 episodes, and it takes them more than half a year to do it. Like remember back in the day, like the CW shows and, shows that had like 23 episodes a year, those shows would film for like 6-7 months. They would come in, the actors would show up in August and they'd film through like February or March. But you know what? There was like 23 episodes and they could be 30 to 50 minutes long. What's Wednesday's excuse? So that's a joke kind of, but yeah, if she's busy with Wednesday, what are you going to do? I think they're filming Wednesday season 3 next month. They're starting next month. And so it'll go for the next half year. So if Life is Strange films in the spring or summer, Emma Myers wouldn't even be available. So that sucks. That, you know, if that would be the reason, by the way, that she didn't do it, I'd be very upset. You know, if we ever got an interview where it's like, yeah, Emma was our first choice, but she was busy, I'd say, oh gosh, you know, I'd be mad. I'd say, oh gosh, darn it. That's how mad I would be. I'm glad Fable's coming to PS5. Game looks good. That's right. That's right. And it's, I mean, coming out on Game Pass. It's one of those situations I think I'd buy it physically on PlayStation, but I would play it on Game Pass. Like day one, get it on Game Pass, and then eventually get it on PlayStation later down the line. That's what I think I'm going to do with a game like that. Waiting for Sony to make a God of War collection for to PC. That would be pretty sweet. What's the likelihood? Well, I mean, Ragnarok's on PC, right? I don't think 2018 is. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, it would make a God of War collection. Well, the odds of them doing anything with the original Greek saga, I feel like are very low. They seem to just hate it for some freaking reason. And the oh yeah, all of them. Forza, to a degree, I'm excited for. Fable is probably my top 10 most anticipated this year, easily. So I'm super excited for Fable. Halo, Gears would probably be a top 5 game I'm excited for. Yeah, Xbox has an amazing Xbox and PlayStation. I think are going to do a nice little, you know, back and forth thing going on here in 2026. So I'm pumped. I mean, of my 50 games, probably 3 are PlayStation, 4 or 5 are Xbox, you know, and that makes up almost 10 of the 50. So, and Life is Strange would make up one of those, right? I'm just really hoping for the TV show, the impact of finding Rachel dead will be just as impactful as the game. Yeah, a lot of things have to be just as impactful as the game. We'll see. We'll see if they want to extend things or bring in kind of Rachel moments from before the storm, you know? Is it going to literally just be a retelling of Life is Strange 1? We don't really know. Yeah, Fatal Frame 2, I cannot wait. I mean, I've never played the original. That's a problem, but I cannot freaking wait for Fatal Frame 2. And Monster Hunter Stories 3, I've heard about the Monster Hunter Stories games, that they're very good. So it's not really anything I've tried, but it's something I'd be willing to. But yeah, Fatal Frame, can't wait. March 12th, I think, is Fatal Frame. True Colors is a nice, comfy game to me. Yeah, I mean, you know, it gave off those like fall, wintry vibes, and I believe that's when it came out, right? Like October or something. Yeah, I have fond. Did they give that? I don't think they get that game came out right around the time of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I remember they gave me Guardians of the Galaxy early, like 2 weeks early. And I was stunned. Because I also didn't know it was going to be such a freaking masterpiece, that Guardians game. And so I remember I think I was playing them almost back to back, or even like one day play one day play the other. And just, those are my game. I mean, if I recall from 2021, it wasn't the strongest year. 2020 had a lot of games kind of at the top, but it also wasn't the strongest. I mean, COVID and stuff. But 2020 and 2021 were not the most stacked years. But I do remember, I think, that 2021, True Colors and Guardians would have been like co-leads for my game of the year. I think looking back on it, I would have to kind of assess that because I think Kena, Bridge of Spirits came out that year as well. That game, I adore that game. I adore Kena, Bridge of Spirits. So I don't know if that's better than like Guardians. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is better than True Colors by a good margin, but great games. Like, again, at the top, different kinds of games. Like, who would think kind of what some people would consider like a mid-tier Life is Strange game would be one of the better games of 2021? It is, in my opinion. Oh, it is time for Galaxy 3. Yeah. I'm going to hopefully play Galaxy 1 again. I haven't played Galaxy 1 since it came out. On the good old Wii, when I was, God only knows how old I was at that time. Very young, very young. I haven't played Galaxy 1 or 2 since it originally came out. So I'm really excited for the movie, and I think I'm going to go back and play Galaxy 1 for that. Yeah, we still haven't gotten it for the PS. Yeah, that's true. Let's get it for PS5 first, and then let's worry about it doing the rest, you know? Hot take. I think Life is Strange 2 is a good game. It has a good story with thought-provoking choice. That's fair. I'm not, you know, I've talked so much smack on it for so long. I'm not really here to argue with, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a hot take, by the way. I don't think it's a hot take, because I think it's a pretty good 50-50 split. I really do. I think within the community, it's probably like a 60-40 good, 60% good, 40% bad. Outside of the community, I think it's probably like 80-20, 90-10 bad. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, I'm not really here not to keep taking digs at it. I do not care about Life is Strange 2 enough to really go into like, oh, you're wrong, I'm right, or or I'm wrong, you're right. I don't care about it that much to really delve deep. Yeah, yeah, maybe one day I'll go back and play it. Although I have been saying that for 10 years. I saw a video stating that Life is Strange should never been a franchise. I do think, well, when you say franchise, I love Max and I love Chloe, and I always wanted a game that brought Max back. I've said that 20 times, right? I always wanted a game that brought Max back. I said it 21 times. With that being said, was it a bad choice to not make it an anthology? Here's the thing, and I've always said this, and I feel like a lot of people that say things like that though just leave this part out. The franchise would do best if it was an anthology, if it was just random people, random powers, social issues, political stuff, non-political stuff, whatever, right? Each game's kind of just its own thing. Life is Strange would have been best like that. What I think people don't want to face is that Life is Strange has really only worked with Max. And now I will say, I think that's just a byproduct of it being a very well-written game with great characters. That's what, even that part, I don't even say all that often. I really think Life is Strange 1 was the only one that really worked. It made a ton of money. It sold. So many millions of people played it. Far, far beyond any other Life is Strange game combined. Okay? That, I think, gives Square Enix and Deck 9 probably gave them the wrong idea, in retrospect, that Life is Strange is just Max Caulfield. It doesn't work without Max. To a degree, I agree. To a degree, I do agree with that because it has only worked with Max. But also the thing is, I don't think the other games just really did it as well. Like, I do like True Colors, and I think it was a great attempt of a Life is Strange game. Their own character, their own setting. It felt like Life is Strange, but it was also its own thing. The sad fact is, it just wasn't played. It wasn't bought. Like, it was not successful. None of these games. Life is Strange 2 was not really all that successful. So that's just, I think, the issue is there's only been one that's really made Square Enix say it's a hit. Like, it's a franchise because of Life is Strange 1. And I think you can kind of get confused or get into the weeds of, is it because it's Max and Chloe? Is it because, or did we catch lightning in a bottle one time and that's all we can do it? I think it was just an amazing game. I think it went, did it have a little bit of political stuff? Did it have a little bit of like the teen growing up stuff? Did it focus on, I don't want to say certain words on YouTube, like, Kate stuff, let's say Kate stuff, right? I mean, it went over and it also was a time traveling epic, with this end clock or countdown of the storm. It had so many elements that just worked perfectly. And just so many amazing characters, a main plot, the Kate Mars, Kate was in it. The Rachel mystery story, which leads, into the storm and whatnot. Like, it just worked. So, I mean, that's a long, long story, or long tangent. I think it's important, though. I think it's a really good discussion. Like, I think Life is Strange does work as an anthology, and that's probably where it would find the most success creatively. In terms of like public reception, I think they were probably right to kind of think, oh, well, could it just be because it's Max? I could see why you would think that. And maybe it is. Maybe it always has just been. But yet again, double exposure kind of hurts that, right? Because then why didn't double exposure do better? I think Max is a big part of it. I think Max and Chloe. I think the writing is a big part of it. And it's just never really reached. I think it's a great topic, really. I mean, I think I could just make a video on that right now, to be honest. Maybe I will. But I believe everything I just said. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe every word. I sleep to my videos every day. Oh, thank you. I appreciate. No, well, thank you. From Egypt. Oh my God, free Sly. Is Sly there? You should free him. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Like I said in the beginning of this live stream, I rarely do I attempt to sway people. Like, everything I just say about Life is Strange, if that got you jazzed or mad, or like, I literally am just saying it because I'm passionate, and that's really the kind of style I try to do. I'm not trying, for the most part. There are games where I say to myself, I need to try to convince people to like give it a chance, like I want to kind of almost push it, and I don't try to push games too much. I just try to tell you how I feel. And if that kind of rubs off on you, great. But I don't really honestly try to. I'm kind of just talking to myself and I'm hoping that you're listening. But yeah, there's sometimes I push a game, but not often. With the exception of Chloe and Joyce in the photo, are there any other characters from previous games who have a possibility of showing up? Oh, great question. Great question. And I was going to do a video on that, and I still will. I still will. I think through flashbacks, there's a lot of stuff that is possible. I would not rule out Rachel in a flashback. I think that's very possible. Very possible. I just feel she could have a part to play. You think about Before the Storm, Deck 9. I think there's definitely room for that. So she would be, if I'm like betting, if I'm doing like a fantasy league, she'd be like my, the highest one. Joyce, David. You didn't even mention David. Like David's a good one, I think, too, that could potentially happen. But you have like Victoria and Kate and Jefferson and Nathan. Those would kind of be, I think, a couple tiers down, possible but not likely. I think the most like go for it, like you're only going to do this once idea would be Rachel. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm optimistic with games from Capcom, Nintendo, and even Square Enix, but with Xbox, Ubisoft, and other Western studios, I'm more pessimistic. That's fair. That's fair. I think Ubisoft I'd be very pessimistic on. Very pessimistic. Xbox, I think, has delivered good games. They just don't really sell. But I think Fable's going to be good. Forza is going to do great. Forza is going to do really great. So, thank you. I like that. This is like where my hair is starting to grow a little bit longer. It's getting to a pretty okay spot of my head. No, I appreciate that. It looks like they took feedback well and made Reunion more in line with what fans want. It definitely comes across that way. Definitely comes across. And I'm going to do a video of kind of like that, like reasons why they have kind of already won me back, or like reasons why I haven't thought of the title yet, if you can't tell. Things that seem to show that they learned, something like that. I actually wrote that down. So I'll have to come up with a title on that one, but that's kind of my plan. My opinion on Ghost of Yotei, it's a good game, but it's not a game that would make me want to buy a PS5. Fair. I would honestly argue, I'll even be more controversial. I don't think there's almost any game this entire generation of both consoles that would convince you, one singular exclusive that would convince you to get it. God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man, Ghost. Do any of those real? Maybe some more than others. Returnal, Ratchet and Clank. You can keep going, but I would argue, in terms of pure PlayStation or pure Xbox, well, Xbox doesn't even have exclusives, to be fair. Like, not even like to dig at it, but just like what their plan is. There has not really been, from a sole game perspective, why you would get a console. GTA 6 will be the biggest reason to get a next-gen console. That's not even a hot take. I think that's the actual truth. For most people, that'll be the reason. So, and that's been a big problem, I think, with this generation. I've only ever played Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm, and that's it. That's right. Then you're a good case study right there, Steph. You're a good case study. And I think that's fair. I think the majority of non-community Life is Strange people played 1, liked it. I don't know a lot of people that don't like 1. In fact, I don't even know if I've ever seen anybody that doesn't like 1, even outside. I've seen people that have said, I've liked 1, but I don't get how like it kept going. Like, I don't understand like how they supported it and how they've how people have come back because of the quality. I've seen that a lot, but I've never seen even people taking digs at the rest of the franchise. They never take a dig at Life is Strange 1. There's just something kind of freaking special. Maybe like the woke, anti-woke stuff, but I think that was it. I don't know. Like, it almost has become, that game was kind of immune to that, where it's like, it's not, and it shouldn't be, by the way. These are just people. It's not woke, anti, and none of that garbage. It's just like Max and Chloe, and you could do what you want or not. But it's all, a lot of it's a friend, and you could make it more than a friend. But it's these two girls or women that were together, grew apart, and then came back together. And I think that's a beautiful story, and I think it resonates, and I think it just works. So, not to go back to that too much. In the future of AC, I do believe in Hexe, so maybe. And I think Black Flag could be okay. But I don't have high feelings about the future of Ubisoft. That's the problem. I honestly don't know what happened from Life is Strange True Colors and Deck not having success with that game to double exposure. Well, I mean, like I said, I think the problem was True Colors really wasn't all that successful. I think that was kind of the biggest thing, you know? I like Ghosts, but like with its predecessor, I did have some nitpicks with it. They really are too lazy to animate their character walking upstairs and just use the same. Yeah, yeah. I think some, like even Uncharted, you know, if you kind of think you got it, you know, the past game, you kind of just keep it. But I can understand that. I do think, yep. I think the Rachel thing, I'll do a video on her, but like I said, I think Rachel stands a good chance. I did see the Control thing. There's a little bit of misinformation going on in Control, but I will do I'm gonna do a video later today. We'll talk about Control. Yes, I did see that. I did see that. Yeah, Control. Control Resonant. One of my favorite well, it could be one of my favorites. One of my most anticipated games of this year. Nathan, I think stands a good chance too because of flashbacks. Nathan and Chloe were pretty connected, you know. Recently played Cyberpunk 2077 and it's quickly moved on my 7th favorite game of all time behind Doom 2016. Wow, you have a very specific list. No, and that's good. That's good. I got to go back. I believe you. I believe you. And I've never gone through Cyberpunk all the way. I really don't even know all that much about it other than the story of it, like what happened to it. And I played a good 6-7 hours of it back in the day, and that's it. So I will go back to it one day. Ooh, Super Mario RPG. That I played the original right before the remake came out, and I really liked it. It's a long game. It's a long game. Ooh, the reason the fire started. I don't think they would connect Rachel to any more supernatural things, although I do like that they did that in Before the Storm. Actually, I like that element. Or hinted at it, I should say, right? But I think she could be a part of it, but I don't think they would intertwine her with, is that even the right word or phrase? I don't think they would connect her so much with the supernatural element of this game. Yeah, the Prince of Persia thing's haunted me now for 2 days. I cannot believe it. I do still have hope for a Sly Cooper game, yeah. I don't know if I assume the laughing is laughing with me and not at me. No, I still do believe in it, yeah. I still do believe in it. Borrowing from another game, but what if in the next Life is Strange after Reunion, the power is to see into the future, much how like Lucas Kane could do in Quantic Dreams Fahrenheit. Ooh. I think they have something with time travel. I think that's one of the coolest, you know, sci-fi-y, is that even the right genre? It's one of the cooler kind of like powers you could have, I feel like. It's time manipulation, you know, because it doesn't have to be explained super well. There's lots of mystery involved. People are very interested in that in just day-to-day life. It's almost kind of, it's actually like an easy one, a very easy one to like get people into it. So yeah, instead of going backwards, could you see into the future? I think that'd be a good one. I like that. Hot take: the Wii U is better than the Xbox One. Ooh, that is a hot take. That is a hot take because because the Wii U was pretty bad. What did the Wii U give us? I guess what did Xbox One give us? Xbox One still, well, 360 was their golden years. Yeah. I think the Xbox One has to be better than I think almost anything's better than the Wii U. Unless, I mean, it gave us Zelda, right? But maybe, or it started with that. We still don't know anything about the Life is Strange TV show. Yeah, well, I mean, it's most likely going to tell the first game. How closely, we do not know, but it's going to tell the first game. Do you think they should have Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1 all in season 1? No, I think they should. No. I mean, it would maybe make you see why you couldn't do Before the Storm as season 1 and then do Life is Strange 1 as season 2 is I think Max and Chloe again are the main draw. So you don't want to do as your leading season. You don't want to do Rachel and Chloe because if that doesn't work, you're not going to get a season. You won't be renewed for season 2, right? Could they have flashbacks of Before the Storm in season 1? Yeah, but I think Before the Storm was more powerful because season 1 was over. Or like, I think Before the Storm was more powerful as a journey and as a story because we already played through Life is Strange 1. I don't know how it would work, how I would feel, you know, in the moment if they intertwined that, you know, and did Life is Strange 1 flashbacks Before the Storm back and forth. I don't know if that would actually work. It could, but I always have liked that we experienced it and then you kind of get this prequel thing after it. I've always liked that. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake got canceled too because I grew up playing the original versions. Yeah. Yep. And I just replayed Sands of Time, so I'm shocked. I'm stunned, honestly. It was a stun lock. Do you think Fable could win Game of the Year? Not this year. No. I mean, could it be one of the better games of the year? Yeah. Could it win my Game of the Year? Yeah. Yeah. If you're talking about me. If you mean the journalists, it's going to be really hard to beat GTA. I'd say this. If you're the journalist, I think GTA, Wolverine, Control, what else? Resident Evil. I think those 4 are going to be really hard to beat if the journalists are voting on a game of the year. If you're not those 4, I don't know. Or a Nintendo game. If a random Mario 3D game comes out, that could win game of the year immediately. It'd be pretty hard to beat that. Honestly, I just think you have to think like them, which is kind of more narrow-minded, more narrow in thought than us. But just more varied, That's all it is. Oh my god, I'm so behind. Oh, thank you. How do you say your name? Arman E. Coleman? Armania Coleman? I don't know, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I wonder if we're going to see a Marvel game in the next State of Play, or maybe at Summer Game Fest. I also might play Neo 3. Okay, so the Marvel game next. I wonder how Amy Hennig views PlayStation, because if you recall, she was potentially kicked to the streets, kicked to the curb from Naughty Dog. So she might hold. I'm not saying like she would like put Rise of Hydra out as a non-PlayStation title, but would she want to do a state of like a PlayStation specific State of Play? That would be tough. Now you just say see a Marvel game next State of Play. I think the next State of Play, like the February one, is going to be third-party developers. So it might be Fatal Frame. It would probably be after Neo, so it probably wouldn't count that. It might be 007. You got to think about games that are kind of linked to PlayStation. Not exclusive, but linked to them in some way, right? But yeah, I don't Marvel. Like if it's Wolverine you're talking about, I don't think so. And like I said, like Hydra. I mean, I want Rise of Hydra more than many people, but and Neo, I'm gonna play Neo 1. Hopefully next week. I'm gonna start up Neo 1. And I don't think I'm going to get Neo 3 because I'm just not good at those games. I just suck at them so freaking bad. But yeah, Neo 1. I did play Neo 1 a little bit back in the day. So I want to believe in it. I think Neo 3 is going to be a great game. It's just not a game that I will at least play day one. Day one. And Zach, thanks again, man, for the super chat. Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 reveal the next State of Play. There was the news. I wrote it down because I want to cover it. Hamaguchi once again, I think, talked about he talked about how they're polishing it. And I don't know if it's a translational thing, but if they, is that a word? Translation thing. If they're on like a polishing state for Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, we're getting that thing next year. Immediate, like February of next year. So I don't know if that was like a, misinterpretation or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, I've skipped so much, but I did just see this. Are you gonna upload the knack? I did. You've been gone, I think, for a bit. I did upload the knack review. I'd say a month ago, sometime in December. I did the knack review. Hated it. You guys remember Knack? I replayed it for my third channel, and it's terrible. It's much worse than I remembered it being. Much worse. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire this because I want to get to all your comments because I do appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna rapid fire and we'll try to wrap it up a little bit. Out of curiosity, why are you so optimistic about Xbox? I'm not optimistic about Xbox as like a brand. I'm optimistic about Xbox as the games. Like Fable, I'm optimistic of. Forza is huge. Gears is Gears. Halo is Halo. So yeah, I'm not optimistic about the console. The console's screwed. But in terms of the games, I think they're fine. They're great. I hope Nathan appears in Life is Strange Reunion. I think it's possible. We will do a video. I don't think Don't Nod should. I mean, I would have said yes a while ago. I don't really care if Don't Nod doesn't take it back. I think Don't Nod's doing what they want to do, and that's fine. It is a great game, and honestly, devastated me while playing it. It was very heavy. Are we talking about Life is Strange? I mean, I assume that's the central point of what we're doing here. Like everyone else, I'm curious to see how Chloe will interact with Amanda and Vin. I think she'll get along with Amanda whilst being a little jealous, but she'll think Vin is a pretty, yeah. You got some, I think, really nice lines you could get from Chloe with the Vin thing. I think that's a good one. Ice versus Daniel, that would suck. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Halo Reach 15 years later. I haven't played Halo Reach since it came out. I really, really liked it. I never looked at it as the greatest Halo game at the time, but it's been a while. It's been honestly a very long time since it's been 15 years. I might go back and play it this year. I played Halo 1 and 2 within the last 2 years and just masterpieces, right? Halo, I want to say growing up, I think Halo 3 was my favorite, but I think Halo 2 might be my favorite nowadays. But yeah, I think it's possible Max could die. Yeah. I don't want to say that. I don't want to believe that, but I do think it's possible she could die. Remember Me? I have that game physically. I tried to play on an emulator. It's actually one of the few games that doesn't work on a PS3 emulator or the PS3 emulator. So, but I do have it physically. I think it's a solid game. It's not a great game. It's a solid game. Well, if it's gonna cross over Beyond Good and Evil, it's never gonna come out. It's never gonna come out. I know some are disappointed that Ashley Birch didn't return, but Rihanna did an amazing job too. I think what's the scene? There was a couple lines where I would say when Chloe shows up and Max is getting in her car, if you close your eyes, if you're kind of like a fair weather fan, I don't know if you'd be able to tell a difference. I think you could actually think that's Ashley Birch. Diehards, you could definitely tell most lines that it's not Ashley, but I think there's a few times, and I also think we've done this before. Like we have had Chloe being a different voice, for Before the Storm, which I do think worked, and then Double Exposure, I think it worked okay, but we only heard the voice in Double Exposure, right? We never saw the face moving with it, so it'll be maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I have thought about Steph because I do think that's possible. Yeah. She's just like a Deck 9 favorite. She's fine. I don't think she's like the greatest, but Deck 9 definitely likes her, right? So maybe. That's right. Yeah, Victoria stands a chance just because she was like the character that they put forward in Double Exposure as like kind of a character Easter egg. Like if you're not paying attention, you might never see it. But Victoria was like that character, right? So she probably has the highest likelihood of that group to come back. That's true. Ashley could be busy. The Ashley Birch Square Enix thing, I think, is well documented, right? I just think mainly Square Enix doesn't like her. She might not like them, but the combat, I really like the combat of Requiem. Yeah, I think it was solid. I think they did a lot of jumps with that. I liked everything about Requiem, including its combat. I'm 19 or 18 now. Many gamers who were born 2008 are going to turn 20 soon. Many folks like you are getting, no offense, old. I know. Well, I have a daughter, and she makes me feel old. So, but no, I do get that. There's a lot of people. I don't think about it like the year and stuff. Well, sometimes I do. What I'm trying to say, I am aware of it when I think about like, are there people that have never played, say, God of War 3, right? 2010. Okay. God of War 3, 2010. That's like one of the greatest games of all time. One of the greatest games of all time. A pinnacle, something that I kind of like grew up with, or like I grew up with Sly, right? How many people were born after Sly came out? Tons. How many people have never played a Sly Cooper game? How many people never played Uncharted 1, 2, or 3, and 4 was their first one? Or God of War 2018 was their first one, right? That's what makes me feel like, oh shoot, yeah, like we're getting older. To be fair though, I mean, like the average age for gamers is actually going up. Like the average age of a gamer, I think, is in the mid to late 30s. Because the thing with gamers is they don't really ever retire. Like you're always like, once you're into gaming, you don't really stop. So people that are playing games, like, yeah, you're getting new people in, but people are still playing games 40s, 50s, 60s, and on. So you do have kind of this pretty good diverse, like age range happening with gamers. So it keeps things interesting because you want to appeal to the younger group, but you have like a good amount of people my age, even older than me, a lot of like the game journalists that kind of like were around 10, 15 years longer than me, they're 10, 15 years older than me, right? So you have a pretty wide range. And now I've fallen behind again. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. And hello, Telos. where you get your background. I just found this. It's a picture. This is, I think, an official screenshot. Like, I think maybe on their website. I saw it on Google. I think the link took me to their site. So I do want to say this is an official thing because there they are right there, right? I think it's beautiful. By the way, it gives kind of True Colors vibes, but it feels like Life is Strange 1. So I like it quite a bit. Oh, you guys with the super chats, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have enough money to buy a reunion after this, which I already did. I already bought the collector's edition. We might see Rise of Hydra in the summer or maybe at the State of Play in the future, but Wolverine will probably show in April. I agree. I think we don't get, when PlayStation will do like its May or June State of Play, I think they will have already shown Wolverine. So to your point on April. And then, yeah, I mean, Rise of Hydra feels like a Summer Game Fest game. It does. I mean, I think, well, you said summer. I really feel like it could show up at a Jeff Keighley event, like Gamescom or Summer Game Fest. If it's going to happen, it could just never happen. But I feel that. I feel like that is a high likelihood. Okay, on we go. As long as you guys keep chatting and super chatting, I can't stop. So, okay. You think Fable might get delayed because of GTA 6? Yeah, I think. Well, not. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily because of GTA 6. I think it's just if Fable's ready, it'll come out. It just seems very ambitious, and if it doesn't happen, I think it's again has the highest likelihood of getting delayed into 2027. I think that's possible. Oh, did I skip stuff? What's strategy about Gen 8 and 9 gaming? There are many good games, but corporate, yeah, it's gotten bad. And it's gotten more live service and microtransactions and stuff. But okay. You think the Valve Steam Machine 2 will be a success or complete failure? Depends on the price. I really think if it's below like $800, it'll be a huge success. I think if it's like 1,000 plus, I think it'll be a failure. That's kind of where I'm at there. I don't know. Are you going to be playing the new open world crime game? But I did see that. Yeah, the Just Cause man. That looks good. It looks good. It isn't a person's name. I forget what the name of it is. But I did see it, and I was gonna maybe do a video on it. I never did the video, but yeah, it's on my radar. It's totally on my radar. My PS5 is my main gaming platform, but I grew up with all the PlayStation consoles. Yeah, I grew up on PlayStation. I mean, I had handhelds. I got the Wii. Then I went back to PlayStation. My friends always owned Xboxes. I would go there, play Halo and Gears and Fable and stuff. Before you play Witcher 3, I'd say, what should you know? It's got substance everywhere. Like the main story is so good, so much depth, but people are not kidding when they talk about the side stories and the side quests in The Witcher 3 being better than like other games' main story. I think the depth of the writing and the lore and the quests, main quest, side quests, bounties type stuff is like better than you probably think it is. That's what I would kind of expect. It's a legendary game. Still to this day, I think it's a legendary game. Chloe works with Steph's ex band. Oh, there you go. I didn't even really put 2 and 2 together on that. So yeah, I think it's pretty. Like I said, Deck Nine and Deck Nine really likes Steph. I mean, they created her, right? So I think it's definitely possible. I've seen that, and I think I'm going to do a video on it. I might wait a bit, but I have seen that view of Chloe. I've seen people just like attack Chloe as a character, that she's just a bad person. And yeah, I don't agree, but I have thought about doing a video on that, and I probably will at some point. With Halo, I really want a survival horror game. Oh, wow. Halo 1 had some of those kind of horror elements, I would say. Halo 1 going into 2. But yeah, that they got room. I mean, they tried stuff with shoot, what was it called? With the like the RTS. Oh, Halo. Oh my god. Halo Wars. An easy title to remember. They tried different kinds of stuff. I think Halo you could kind of branch out, right? I think you branch that out. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to play Tomb Raider 1 before the remake to kind of compare where we're at. But that's great. Tomb Raider rocks for the most part. If Hydra gets delayed this year, when do you think it'll be? If it gets delayed, I think just at some point, maybe over the summer into the fall, we'll find out it's coming out next year. Like kind of an easy Twitter statement, you know? The Wii U okay. All right. The Wii U did have some stuff. Yeah, I knew Breath of the Wild. Splatoon I didn't know. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. What did Xbox One have? Not much. Xbox One really did start the degrading of the Xbox brand. I'm sure it had some stuff though. Was Sunset Overdrive Xbox One era or was that 360? Sunset Overdrive's a great game. Just saying. Fable isn't touching Crimson Desert. Well, as I've said with Crimson Desert, you know, I believe in it. I'm on its side, okay? I'm on its side, hand to God. But it could be terrible. It could if it's trying to do too much, it could really let people down. Like I said, I think overall it's gonna be an above average game. I think it'll be okay. But it's possible Crimson Desert doesn't work and Fable can swoop in. But yeah, I'm not really counting on that or banking on that. I don't know about that. Dispatch started as an animated series and then they made it into a game. That was its like origin story. But I don't know if it is eventually going to get one. I think it would be kind of cool to go in that direction because you just keep it around, you know? Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, we have like 8 Star Wars games and just like a handful of Marvel games or less than a handful. So you eventually want to stock up again, but I don't know if you have to do it right away. Likelihood of a Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo Infinite port, high, very high. Halo Infinite, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I don't know. Halo Infinite actually is probably more of a 50-50. I'd say Master Chief Collection is pretty high that it would one day come to PlayStation. I want to hear something from Playdead. Oh my God, 10 years, right? Hasn't it been 10 years since Inside? What is going on? And they there's that picture or whatever that they were working on their next game and they haven't shown anything in like 10 years. So yeah, I'm with you. Limbo is so good. I mean, there's a game for Switch Boy 2030 2320 2320, let's say. There's a game for you. Limbo and Inside. Great games. Great games. I kind of like Limbo better, to be honest with you, but Inside's so good. Aside from Final Fantasy, I wonder what else will come after Final Fantasy 7 part. Yeah, I think they're gonna do 9. I mean, I know there's been rumors now that it's canceled, but I think doing what are we at? 16, 17? 17. I think doing 17 is probably what's next. Part 3, then 17, then another remake is probably, I'd say, the order. I can understand you about Neo. Play the first. Yeah, I did not get far in Neo 1. Did not get far. Have you tried to tell me why? I did. I play it. They gave me that was a long time ago. I was much smaller. Not that I'm big now because I don't really consider myself big, but they gave me a code for Tell Me Why back in the day, and I actually really liked it. Like Twin Mirror was fine. Twin Mirror was a pretty, you know, just a good 5 out of 10. Tell Me Why, I think, definitely had some stuff going for it. I don't think it was great. I'd say it was good. It was like a good 7 out of 10 game. But I think that was a good one. You know, I think Jasant was great from them. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, you know, I've talked about some. I love Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is my favorite Don't Nod game since Life is Strange 1. I don't think they lost records when people were saying Don't Nod is back. This is a hot take, maybe. But I think Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is like 50 times better than Lost Records. It's not even remotely close. I like Lost Records, like it. I wouldn't say anything really more than that. I like Lost Records. Banishers is miles better than it, in my opinion. So it's always just kind of weird, like hearing people say, "Oh, they're back," you know, Lost Records. It's like, no, they were back, you know, with they were back a year earlier. Insomniac was going to make a second Sunset Overdrive, but then they made Spider-Man instead of RIP. Ah, man, it's a game that's really become like, I mean, I want to say lost to time. I mean, I guess technically because of Xbox. Yeah, it was the Xbox One era, right? Is backwards compatibility. I want to say it's lost to time, even though it's really not. You can still play it and you can still get it physically, digitally, whatever. But maybe it takes, you know, because not a lot of people played it. Not a lot of people played Sunset Overdrive. It is a great game, and so many of the ideas, you know, like you said, Spider-Man, this game, Spider-Man was born from this game, right? So it's just, it's not trapped, it's not lost to time, but it almost kind of feels like it is, if you know what I mean. And it's just so odd that like PlayStation owns them now and they don't, but like the rights are tricky, right? And it's like how Sunset Overdrive is not on PlayStation is insane. Insane. But thank you again for the super chat, buddy. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Okay, hold on. I lost my place. Met Makoto and Kyoko. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. Do you remember the Pixar games for PS2? I played some. Yeah, like Toy Story. I do remember Toy Story. Ratatouille, I never played. But yeah, some of them. I didn't play too many of them. Too many. I don't want David Madsen to come back because I hate him. Oh my god. Steph's voice actress said, if she's in the game, I'm not the one playing her, and I'd be very sad to find out. Ooh, really? People lie. People lie, NDAs and stuff. But that's interesting. I didn't know she said that. I know she co-streamed it. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. Well, thank you for telling me that. I believe it. I believe it, but you know, to kind of like get people looking the other way, and we'll see. I love Leon by Witch Cap. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Claire and Jill have become kind of lost to Resident Evil in place of the other ones. Square and Ashley Birch had just a long. At the time that Double Exposure came out, there was a good. I'll try to find. If you type it in to say Google, you could probably find like a Reddit thread that goes through like bullet points. I remember reading a pretty long thread that just went through like the history of kind of bashing each other or just not getting along, dating back. I want to say before this, like it started at Before the Storm. Started back in like 2017, and it just kind of devolved. What's the word? Devolved. That's not even a word. It dissolved from there. Infamous Archives. What's going on? Welcome in. Gaming is expensive. I'll tell you, it's expensive. A lot of my fun money goes to it. With the exception of a kiss, getting back together, riding off in the sunset was the one thing you would like to see happen between Max and Chloe. And yes, it can be fan service. With the exception of a kiss, what would be the one thing you like to see happen? I like callbacks. I like one-liners. So I do like that they're running with the partners in time thing. I do like that. It's a great line. I just think giving us the ability to like, I think like if you had them driving off into the sunset like you had in 1 and you did that again, I honestly think I'd be okay. I don't really have like one specific thing I need them to do to kind of pick up where they left off. I hope it feels like you're picking up where you left off. That's kind of what I'm like. They gel because it's a different studio. It's different, actor for Chloe. So that's kind of where I'm at. But that's a good video idea, actually. Like how I'm gonna write it down. Max and Chloe to act. And then I'll remember what I'm talking about by that phrase. I grew up with the first slide. Oh, yeah, there you go. You're a little old too. I'm sick of superheroes. Well, you can't be sick of superheroes with Infamous and Prototype, but I'm with you with Infamous and Prototype. Samson, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. I remember it was one name. It was a person's name. PS3 is the GOAT. It's my favorite console. I still do think we'll get Half-Life 3 this year, yeah. I'm actually betting on it. Like, not with real money, but with fake money. I am betting on Half-Life 3 happening. What do you think the first-person shooter genres need to come back? Games like Bulletstorm, if you know what Bulletstorm is. I feel like games that are just kind of creative, like Bulletstorm was, giving you points based off how you took people out. First person, yeah, because I'm thinking of like Vanquish, but that's like more third person. But Bulletstorm, I would say games like that. I really just think kind of pushing the creativity, the fun. You could do like, say, Titanfall, Bad Company, of course, had just a really Bad Company 2 had a great story, really great story, which is kind of unheard of, when it comes. And Titanfall 2 had a great story too. So I think things like that, honestly, is kind of what they would need to do. Fun fact, the voice actress who voiced Linda 058 in Halo 5 is the same one who voices T. Really? Did I know that? She hasn't done, Britt Baron. She hasn't done too much. She's great. She's a great Tifa. in Final Fantasy. But yeah, she was in Halo. She's only been in a few things, like a handful of things. I like Chloe. I'm with you. I'm with you. I like her too. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna head out. Um, I'm checking just to see if there's anything. I could keep going, but it has been a while. I wonder why the Odd Gentleman hasn't made another game since 2015's King Quest. I've never played that. I'll add that to my list. You think we'll ever get a Lego Marvel game that's set across the Infinity side? I feel like they're missing their timing. That'd be pretty hard. That'd be pretty hard. Is there like it's gonna go into a new saga soon? Sunset Overdrive and Rise, Son of Rome. Yeah, that's right. I do think they'll go back to Arcadia Bay. I think that will be a part of it. Yeah. I think that's I don't know if like they'll reunite unite the Avenger type things, but I do think going to Arcadia Bay is a distinct possible. I think it's possible you and Chloe will go back to Arcadia Bay at the end of Reunion. I think it's kind of how I feel they're setting it up. Are the Final Fantasy fans on Xbox? I don't think a ton, but I do think they exist. Yes. I love Resistance. I know it probably hasn't aged very well, I've been told, but I love it. I love it. I mean, it's free to play, right? I might try out High Guard for like a day, but probably not. Probably not. I'm confused how Chloe has talked to Joyce since Arcadia, as in both Life is Strange 1 endings, Joyce dies or Chloe dies. So yeah. And see, that's what I don't really understand of like, what does Chloe remember / like where's she been? Or because you're taking her from all these different universes, it doesn't really matter what she's been up to. I just feel it does matter what she's been up to because her and Max are going to have to bond and talk about life. And if Chloe is kind of like this husk of a person that doesn't know anything because she's living like multiple people's lives, how are you supposed to bond with her? So that's kind of been my thing with that. Yeah, not many people will bring up Twin Mirror, but I'm here to do it. Yeah, I'm glad you agree. I'm honestly you have good taste. You always have. Yeah, no, Banishers is just so well written. Banishers Ghost of New Eden is such a well written game. And I think it's got serviceable combat, serviceable gameplay, but just such a miles, I think, better than Lost Records in terms of how well it's written. But yeah, Lost Records, I think, has potential. I just think it didn't grab me. Didn't grab me in the same way I guess it grabbed other people. Possible third timeline for Life is Strange where Chloe and Arcadia survived. I think you could maybe like get that into like that's the ending is you are kind of in a third timeline where that happened. You know what I mean? I don't know if there will literally be one as part of the game. I think it'll be more like towards the ending. I'm with you. We got a Life is Strange crowd here, and I'm really happy that you guys are here. RE7 turns 10 years old next year. My God. Has it really been? Yeah, 2017. I wasn't even that into it when it first came out. I remember I got it like a couple days late, but I love that game. Also with the merged timelines, does that mean Steph remembers Arcadia Bay being destroyed? Yeah. And her mother dying as well as Chloe and Rachel being dead. Depends on if Steph is in the game, right? But that's what I'm confused on. I'm really confused on it. Partner. Oh, yeah, like the trophy to be called Partners in Time. I'm with you. That'd be a good fan servicey thing. Kingdom. If Final Fantasy VII Part 3 is like February of next year, I think Kingdom Hearts could be like November of next year. But I also think Kingdom Hearts 4 is probably early 2028. So I think we're getting close. I think we're within 2 years. But I'd like to believe next year, but you never know. I really want to see if they continue the story for Life is Strange. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I've talked about my thoughts on Life is Strange too, but yeah, I don't think there's any interest for them to do those two. But I mean, maybe. Like I said, just oh my God, where'd all these comments come from? But it's possible. When do you think we'll see Elder Scrolls 6? I think we could see it this year. Like even if it's 2 years away, I think you could see it this year. This year, next year, I think. Forza's being $120. I thought it was $70. Is that like one of the deluxe editions? I'm not gonna buy it. I'll just tell you that right now. I would not buy it for many prices. many prices, but yeah. See, I would have said they were again going like the superhero route, but I just really don't think they are now. And I think that's the right move. I think that's the right move. You could still do cameos, but I think it's the right move. Ooh, we got to. Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome. I went to a Comic-Con a couple years ago here in Colorado and met some of the Scream cast, which I already met Nev Campbell before, but I met her again. And yeah, I know the Final Fantasy cast likes to do a lot of it. In the two in the 2 years I've paid attention to the Comic-Con around me, they've never come, but it's a decent size. When Nolan North came, Hayden Christensen came the year that I went, but he was very expensive, so I didn't do that. But there was a good group of people that went. If the Final Fantasy cast went, I think I'd meet as many of them as possible because I think they're great, really talented. Choosing to go back to Arcadia Bay or traveling like they did between one and double exposure could be a final. Yeah, I think that's possible. I think that's possible. Where they kind of just say, okay, screw it, let's just pick kind of where you want to be. Yeah, Halo's really been added to, I would say, with lore, with comics and books, just the different kind of things that people have created. It's got a lot of potential to always go and even go beyond Chief, which is what a lot of the expanded lore has really done, right? If Max did romance one of those, then starts to romance Chloe, I can see another character, probably Safi, making a joke that they could have a three. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go. If somebody romance them, they're gonna have to dump them to the curb for Chloe. I thought Lost Records was bad. What I thought Lost Records were as bad. I just found it uneventful, and the characters were not very good. Maybe not that bad, not as bad. Yeah, yeah. I just don't really think it went anywhere until the very end. Characters were solid enough, but I just I don't really think it really took that step. Yeah, 2025 went by pretty quickly. Okay, guys. All right. While my voice still lasts, I'm going to head out. No, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Great chat. If you want to continue the conversation with each other, with whoever, Discord, if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the pinned comment or pinned. Yeah, I think it's pinned comment here. Join it. We got a giveaway going on over there. All you got to do is be active and talk over there. But yeah, continue the conversation there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll have probably a Life is Strange video every other day. I'll cover the control stuff, some stuff that came out today, Ubisoft stuff. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming, and I'll probably be live next week. I want to do a Scream live stream at some point, so maybe I'll do that next week. Okay, but I really appreciate you guys being here. I will definitely do a couple more Life is Strange streams before Reunion, and then we'll do a huge one for like a spoiler cast when Reunion comes out. All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. A lot of the U.S. is going to get cold. And I'll see you all on the next one.